Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. Cause yeah, today we're gonna be mixing some tracks down. I've got 2 beats picked out that I need to mix down for BeatStars. So yeah, it should be a good productive session. Just gonna kind of go through it and talk aloud as I do. And yeah, you know, as always, I always like to kind of give this sort of, I don't know, pre-mix session warning. You know, these are BeatStars beats, right? So we're gonna kind of do very quick but effective mixes. Is kind of the idea of these Thursday streams, you know. If it was like something for Spotify, I might spend like probably about 7 hours over the course of 2 days, I think, is about kind of what I do. But I think what's kind of fun about these is, you know, I feel like being live in front of you guys keeps me on track to, you know, really keep moving along on my progress here. And it kind of goes to show just how effective we can be if we are organized and if we're working smartly. So anyways, that's the idea. We're gonna mix these beats down. I got 2 picked out, and they're actually the 2 that we made on stream last Saturday. I think that those will be some good beats. Now, before we dive into all of that, of course, we are listening to the opening track to my new EP called Thinking of You. Definitely go check it out if you haven't yet already. If you're trying to find the music, I am TapDaddy on all platforms. And yeah, Thinking of You just dropped. I'll drop a link in chat for anybody that might be trying to find it, and no worries if not. There we go. All right, so let's pause on that and let's dive in to Ableton for our first listen of our first beat. Now, all I've really done so far today is I have just turned the volume, giving ourselves some headroom so that we're starting, you know, lower. And I do see that I have done some light mixing here, so this should be in a decent spot. We're here to get it all the way to the end, right? So let's give it a listen. I feel like these drums could be so much more vibrant. They do have some great qualities to it, though. We got quite a bit of reverb in this track as well, but I think that's kind of the ticket. I think that's kind of the, you know, we're kind of going for this, like, kind of dreamlike atmosphere. That theremin we're going to have to really glue in there, aren't we? That's okay. You know, question. Do we also include the side chaining on the trumpet as well? I'm kind of thinking we do. Give these the kick and the snare a little bit more, you know. What's up, Mammy? How you doing? It's good to see you. Hell yeah. You got here just in time too. We're just giving it our first listen through. Hell yeah. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm having a good day. Having a busy week, but getting a lot done. But yeah, how's your day going? How's stuff? How's things? I hope stuff and things are all good. Let's kind of bring it back a bit. While I had the idea to sidechain in, you know, on the trumpet as well, let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to have to make some decisions here. Just seeing what we got here. I see I've got, you know, some reverb and a compressor here. That's going to be good. We'll put this after all of that. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we remove this first compressor. Basically, all of these compressors, what they're doing is we're getting sidechain action, and each one of these is multiplying the ratio. So we're giving ourselves a little bit less ratio on there. But yeah, I see Mamie says pretty good. Just getting back from the doctor. I've been sick most of the week. Ooh, that's no good. That's no good. I hope you're feeling better soon. Man. But yeah, I hope you're at least able to enjoy some of your time while you're sick. I feel like for me, I always find myself in this trade-off whenever I get sick, where it's like, I don't know, I'm miserable and all of that, but I also am like always working around the clock, that the day that I like literally can't do anything but sit on the couch and just like watch TV or something, I'm almost grateful for the time that I like for being forced to sit there and relax for a day. I'm like, I don't know. I could use a day off. I don't know. Maybe that's not normal for people. Oh man. But I hope you're feeling well. Oh man, this is gonna be a really vibrant track when we're done with it. I can tell. This just feels good. Okay, yeah, this is the kind of track that I feel like as soon as it hits the master and as soon as we really start squeezing on it, that's where we're really gonna get a lot of vibrance out of this. It's gonna be good. But yeah, Mammy says, I've been binge watching Ancient Aliens. Oh shit, nice. Ancient Aliens on Pluto TV. Okay, hell yeah, damn. Are you learning anything? Learning anything interesting? I remember my dad was pretty into watching Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. I feel like that should tell you basically everything you need to know about my dad. Okay, so yeah, we did some sidechain. I feel like we could bring these trumpets up a bit now. Yeah, there's a whole freaking station? What? It's my guilty pleasure show. Hey, fair enough. No, I get you. That's awesome. Oh my god. I feel like you need, you know, when you're sick, you need like something to binge through, of course, right? And I feel like I grow a greater appreciation for things when I'm like sick and I binge through a series. I feel like that kind of sticks with me. Like I always like to return to that series as kind of like a, I don't know, feel good something. I feel like for me, I found this one guy on YouTube that plays this one game, and it's such a silly game. It's a city builder kind of game where you build a huge colony out of beavers. And I found this channel last time that I had COVID, and I binged like 17 hours of this guy's channel watching him like build a civilization of beavers, and I don't know, I got so hooked on it. And it was just like I was all out of anything else to watch, and I had just been kind of playing this game, so I was like familiar with it. I don't know. You see, that's where I find stuff, is when I need to find something to binge. This is when I feel like I discover the best stuff. All right, let's get into these drums a little bit. You know, the drums are like really what I feel like we could use some extra sauce on that, you know? Okay, I'm curious if we open this up a little bit. We shaved some of the highs here. Ooh, okay. Curious if I do this after the compressor. I really cannot tell. It's such a stark cutoff. It's like, I'm not sure if it really makes much difference. Whew. Okay, I'm curious. Could we get more slap out of that snare? Can we get some snap on it? Yeah, I think we probably can. I'm gonna try something that's a little against the grain of maybe what you would typically see a mix engineer do. Sometimes I like to really hike up the EQ on the snare. Like, just, I don't know, I find like the place that gives it this real bucket punch sort of feel. And sometimes that just feels satisfying. Or I find a place that's a little bit more in the mid-highs and we get kind of snappy on it. Let's try that. Yeah, this guy. Let's get our EQ out. And yeah, this could have happened before all the compression, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work. We could try it after the compression if we need to. Ooh, you see, like, up here. Maybe we... There we go. Yeah, maybe we were saying I can't hear a difference, but I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. Yeah, you were talking about moving the compressor side. That's actually one of the smartest answers. I feel like, especially in music, I don't know. I feel like you get in some competitive spaces where people want to impress each other with their knowledge and their prowess. And I feel like what results is you get the blind leading the blind, trying to pretend like they know concepts that maybe they do not fully grasp yet. And I gotta say, it is kind of nice when you're working with somebody and they are experienced enough to know when to say, I don't know, and it's like, I don't know, because I feel like, and this goes for a lot of jobs too. Like, this was in software as well. My wife especially worked in software for a while. I got a computer science degree. Ultimately didn't work too much in software, but I feel like one of the biggest lessons I learned is that sometimes the smartest answer is I don't know. Because if you pretend like you have an answer, you're kind of on the hook. Okay, I'm not sure if that's gonna be it. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of that. Like, maybe not as hard. Also, I think we could probably turn up these drums a bit. Maybe I'm overestimating it. We could probably bring that down. Maybe we get a little bit of bump on this kick. Kind of trying to get more on that punch, on that mid range. What do we got going on in terms of bass? I don't even think we really have bass here. I think really what's happening, though, is we've got a lot of low end on this sample material. Okay, so I did get some new toys to play with. Actually, I used to have all of these plugins. And they are free if any of you guys want them. I'm talking about Melda Productions, okay? They have huge bundle of free plugins. It's really nice. It's like 40 plugins that I would equate to being like kind of like an alternate stock plugin library, and that's not to mean that they're like these dinky plugins either. Like, some of these are fucking incredible, high quality plugins. Like, there's at least 2 reverb plugins in this bundle that are so good. I've used them so much in the past, and I think sometime when I upgraded to Ableton Live 12, they stopped working. But I never went to go check for an update for them. So just the other day, I've been working on this this audiobook. I'm like editing down an audiobook this week, and I like needed a tool in there, for this audiobook. So I was like, okay, I'll go I'll go look it up and download it. Sure enough, I download it. They're all updated. They all look very nice. I really haven't gotten a chance to play with most of them. So let's just go look around in our Melda production suite. Oh shit, did I download them on this computer though? Oh man, I just realized I don't think I have them on this computer yet. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, we might download them. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see if I can track it down real quick, because I know I'm gonna need them anyways, and if it helps this this mix, then I think it would be worth it. So let's see, bundles. Just to show you guys where I am going, I'm on the Melda production website. We are going to be looking at the M-Free bundle. Yes, M-Free effects bundle. As you can see here, we got 38 plugins included. And there are a lot of really good things in here. I needed the M Analyzer the other day to measure RMS. But you can see they've got auto pitch, so like auto tune, they've got auto pan, they've got M band pass. That's what I was just about to reach for, was the band pass. I wanted to kind of play with that on our sample material. M charm verb. This is such a good reverb. So immaculate for vocals. I love it. M convolution easy. If you're looking for like a more diverse range of reverbs, this is some great convolution reverbs. MEQ I haven't really played with too much. Frequency shifter, I've definitely played with that. That's awesome. It even comes with a notepad if you need notes. Stereo expander, stereoscope, tuner, vibrato. Yeah, you see there's just like a lot of good stuff in here. Let's download it. Let's get this going. Let's get this cooking up. Yeah. No way. Oh no, whammy. Oh man, I'm actually kind of excited for this. If I can get this downloaded and installed. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna download that. Set up. Gonna install this. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, perfect. Installation was successful, and then I think I just downloaded the installer basically, and then there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm gonna need to actually install the bundle. Okay, here we go. So, yes, this is everything that we're going to get in free bundle selected. And yeah, we're getting all of these plugins totally free. I highly, if you haven't gotten this yet, what are you doing, my guy? Go download it. It's just a nice set of stuff to get. Okay. Install. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that works. That's going to be working on it. Okay. Sorry, I'm like, I know, right, Mammy? It's like, it's so good. It's such a good, I think it's, and I love Ableton's stock plugins. I just absolutely fucking love them. I think that they are some incredibly high quality plugins, but sometimes you need some variety. Sometimes, you need more than the stock reverbs, or, maybe you need an analyzer tool like I needed for this audiobook, or like whatever, right? And it's just good to have a second set of like the equivalent of stock plugins, right? So, okay. Plugins finished successfully. Okay, now let's test it. Let's see if we installed all of these plugins. Let's go to settings, and we are going to go to plugins and say rescan. And we can see down here in the bottom left, scanning 125 plugins. Oh boy. Okay. No, I think that was totally worth it, though. I think that'll improve our session today. Or it might slow me down. We'll see. But it's a good thing we're only mixing 2 today. Okay. Is it all good? Yes, I see Melda production. Perfect. Okay, so I wanted to grab that M band pass and slap it on this guy right here. Okay. What kind of... No, not M auto pitch, you silly goose. You frickin' silly guy. M band pass. Here we go. And I'll probably do this... What do I have on here? I've got a compressor, reverb. Let's do this maybe before the reverb. Okay. So this is, okay, is this like, do I get bands of stuff? I'm just curious. Interesting. I was hoping I would be... Is this like a... Oh, I see. This is a band pass. I kind of want like a multi-band EQ. I'm just curious if there's anything like that in here. Well, we may as well take a look at their equalizer. I'm curious about that. Oh, this is a very nice looking EQ. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm curious if there's a way to like... Oh, I see. So we can kind of like... This is how we adjust the Q value. Oh, you can definitely get a sense that mid-range is feeling good. What's going on in our bass, though? Okay, that bass is actually quite up there. Interesting. Okay. Randomize. That's interesting. Well, you know what's cool is like randomizing this shows me what we can play with. Wow, yikes. Oh, and I noticed it also has the saturation knob. That's interesting. Not every EQ has a saturation knob. That's cool. All right, well, I don't think that this is exactly what we're gonna need. I'm mostly getting comfortable with these new tools, you know. In the meantime, what do we need on this? We got a nice saturator. You know, we might actually play with a little bit of saturation maybe after the compression. Ooh, the harmonics here. Oh my god. I've got to go see what the compander is, though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the compander does, but I do know I like what this harmonics is doing. Ooh, what? Oh, that's gonna be cool on masters. I feel like on any tracks where I have like 808s, this would be a really cool like saturator to use. Maybe like kind of like a good alternative to like what's it called? Little Radiator. I've been using a lot of Little Radiator on tracks. Anyways, we're not gonna go too crazy on that. Maybe we will go a little bit on third or fourth. Let's turn that dry wet down. Okay, now we're gonna A/B test this. You know, it's a new tool, so I feel like, you know, something that whenever I'm getting comfortable with new tools and trying to decide like whether I actually like something or not, this is where A/B testing really is super important. So long as you can, you know, justify that you like this more than you like it without it, like I think you're making positive progress, right? Yeah, this just feels so much more full. Oh, that's beautiful. I feel like these drums could use like a splash of reverb on here. Let's try actually Charm Verb. I mostly use this for vocals, but I think for drums, this does give you an awful lot of control on this. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, just a small idea. Maybe we'll do a little bit on the outside, but I'm thinking we're going to go on the inside. We're going to, on this snare right here, I want a nice tail on this. Ooh, that's just kind of filling out that snare, making it feel a little bit more full. Let's A/B test this. Yeah, that's the right kind of slap that I'm looking for. Ooh, yeah. Now let's add a little bit on the outside here. We might actually go for a bit of a different reverb. Maybe instead of M Charm Verb, we'll go into M Convolution Easy and see if we can get a good like drum room sound. But this is clean. Like, oh, dude, that's awesome. Okay. Let's see if we can beat that with a different reverb. We're going to mute that one that we just laid on here. Now we're going to go into M Convolution Easy. These are full of convolution reverbs. These are like plate reverbs and whatnot. Pretty good stuff in here. Now, I'm curious, what all do we got? I'm looking for like drum. Okay, so I see a few that are titled drum. Ooh, if we give it a little bit of width on the reverb. And I'm also curious about that saturator. What if we did this like after this EQ right here? Little crunchy. It's getting quite like crunchy, right? Kind of abrasive. We're definitely gonna have to like level this again, right? Oh man, but okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna try something. Whenever I'm like trying something, I'm not sure if it's gonna work out. I'll tell you what I do is I put it all together in a group in my chain, so that way I can just flick it on and off and kind of decide. I'll just show you guys. I was thinking of pairing this with Decapitator, a different type of saturator meant for drums, just to see what they sound like side by side together. See, that's taking out some of the lows. I'm not sure I like that. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. This saturator, the decapitator, and this utility, we're going to group up. This utility on the end is so that we can kind of like match the gain. I think as a whole this could come up. Ooh, nice. Maybe it can come down a bit. We're going to try to bring the snare down a little bit. Bring that kick up. Okay. Oh, man. Nice. Okay, we've really spent a lot of time on these drums, but I feel like it's just so foundational to the track. It's worth it. We might kind of back off on some of this reverb. There we go. But yeah, BRB, yeah, no worries. Pasta time, I feel you. Let's zero in on this synth lead. So let's see, we monoed this already, but we did so before the reverb. Let's try this after the reverb. Oh, that really dresses it into the track nicely. This guy's definitely coming forward. Okay, this guy, we're gonna really compress him. 1176. Let's pull this guy out. We're also going to take a little bit of the side chain, place them on this flute. And after that flute, after that side chain, it feels like this can come up a little bit more now that it's glued into the track a little bit. By the way, I also wanted to kind of work with this guitar a little bit. It's very wet. Maybe just dialing it back a little bit is going to help this clean up a little bit. Gosh, I'm not sure about these drums, man. Have I done too much to this? Is it just crazy now? Yeah, maybe we don't go wide on the reverb for the drum like that. Maybe we really try to go for this like really monoed like drum feel. It's almost like it's, recorded on like a mono track of like a cassette tape or something. With the EQ cut at the top. That feels good. Also, one small thing I was kind of thinking of changing, one small production detail. I know we're not supposed to touch the production, and it's the last time to get the thing right. I wanted a little drop in right before we get, let's punch it. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Yes, this, gimme. All right, where am I gonna need to set this? Let's just bring this over here, slide it in. Okay. Also, I'm kind of thinking what might really seal the deal on these drums. Very subtly, but a little bit of extra compression. Yeah, that's lifting it in the right way. Just helping them feel like a little extra fat. Okay, we're getting close, guys. This is coming together nicely. I'm liking the richness of this. I'm almost thinking, like, because I do want people to comfortably rhyme on this, right? And this trumpet lick might kind of step in the way of that a little bit. But I think that there's ways that we can kind of shift this in the mix to where it's like it's going to feel really satisfying alongside somebody's bars, right? I think that's kind of the goal. Maybe put it a little bit more in the background, but I don't know. Just one thought I had is if we like threw it through a vinyl filter and maybe slipped it off a little bit to the side. We will see. We're gonna vinyl filter before we hit anything, before we even touch that reverb. See that feels like it kind of just fits in there a little bit better. Now let's decide which side we're slipping this off to. Now we got this guitar that is kind of dead center. We could kind of go either direction on this. I'm kind of thinking, just for simplicity's sake, let's just kind of choose the right for now. Yeah, how would this guitar feel being leaned? Well, we also got this guy. What is this? Oh, this feels like it's like really in the right ear. So we could choose to go the opposite side. There we go. Kind of want to bring that flute forward a bit more. Oh, yeah. And what do I got on here in terms of like, so here's what we're doing. We've got an 1176, pretty tight and aggressive compressor. But then we're feeding it into some reverb. And then we've got the sidechain compressors here. We're doing their magic. I'm kind of thinking after this reverb, let's gently squeeze on it a little bit further with an LA2A compressor. And that's just going to help it feel a little bit more vibrant. It's going to gel a little bit extra with the reverb it is producing. Kind of the same logic as to like, I don't know why the drums felt so good after we just gently squeezed them with the 1170, or not the 1176, the LA2A. So let's pull this out and let's see kind of how this feels, right? We're going to do this before the sidechain, of course. Here we go. Get the compression in there. And I do also want to boost gain, so I do recognize there's going to be a little bit of loudness bias here, but ooh, if we have this so light and bright, can we afford to maybe open up this synth lead a little bit extra? Because this we kind of have muted, as you can see down here. We're gonna turn that off for now and just see how this feels now that we've kind of adjusted things. Yes, but now I'm feeling like this synth lead could use some compression, probably more in the vein of like 1176. Let's I might even want to try this after the reverb. Sometimes that's the vibe, man. It's totally okay to compress after reverb if that is what you are hoping to pick up, you know. Ooh, come on, dude. That's so sick. God damn, I love this beat, dude. I remember I was thinking that we were gonna like maybe play with the fade out on this, but I actually kind of like how it's feeling right now. I want to do a little bit of EQing here. We want some of that brightness to feel very bright. Okay, yeah, if we do compress like that, we will have to play with this fade out. Dude, it is so windy outside today. It might just need a little bit of extra runway to set down on the ground. I'm thinking we pair this with an EQ automation. We're gonna do this high pass. Okay, yeah. So... something like this, but we need to... Oh, gosh, I gotta unplug this thing because it auto-arms, and I hate that. I hate that this thing is always auto-armed, this complete control. A61, it just bugs the hell out of me. We need nothing to be armed to record this automation. Yes, nothing is armed. Cool, we can do this then. So then we can go... what the hell? Okay, so yeah, it does record. Come on now. That's weird. It used to be in Ableton. When did this change? It used to be in Ableton that you could press record and any knob that you twist would be recorded as automation. When the hell did they change that? Or am I just an idiot? I think I might just be an idiot. There's gotta be something here that I'm missing. What the hell, man? Am I gonna have to do this by... That's so weird. What the hell? I was just automating stuff the other day. What is different? Bro. L. That is just so strange. Okay. Well, I guess I gotta do it by hand. That's not annoying in the slightest. Okay. Oh my gosh. Huge pain in my ass. I also just thought of something that's going to help this gel a lot more, which is really it just needs a little bit more reverb, some sauce to help it kind of vibe with this very ambient track. Should we pull out Super Plate? I think Super Plate. Yeah. There we go. That sounds good. All right. Now we can replace this other guy. Okay, and then we will give ourselves a nice curvy fade out here. But then I think we might be ready to really introduce this to the Shadow Hills master compressor. And ooh, I've been looking forward to that moment. I think this is going to sound very vibrant. I think as soon as we start to really gel it all together in the master. Let's see. Okay, so give myself a little bit of a curve on the fade out. Okay, why am I not full screened, by the way? I'm sorry, I do that to you guys. All right, let's give this a listen back and just see if there's any last minute things we want to adjust. Ooh, last minute. Okay. Last minute production detail. I know I'm not supposed to be. It's okay. It's okay. This is the last chance we get to really spiffy this up in the way we want before it gets out to the rappers. And then it's out of my hands. It's between them and their mix engineer. And any last minute stuff that I wanted on this, not quite going to be there. So, let's see. There's this one sweep that I am thinking is going to sound immaculate here. I think, anyways. This is just going to help really connect this intro into the rest of the track. It's going to be this guy paired with just the default on Supermassive Valhalla. It's a great delay / reverb plugin that just does some really cool things, and I'll show you guys. Okay, so we're going to take that. Now we're going to pull out Supermassive, and we're not going to change a thing about it, okay? We're just going to use literally the most stock basic preset that they have. It's just very diverse, very versatile. And it happens to sound really great with this riser. So let's hear this together. Okay, yes, but we came in too early. Oh, but we need something else. We need sidechain on this reverb and all the stuff it's generating. And we probably need to turn it down a bit. Maybe bring it up a bit. Oh, yes. Okay, now I'm considering last minute gain staging stuff. This is coming forward. Okay, now this needs to come down again. Okay, we're getting there. Nice. Okay. I'm flip-flopping back and forth on, are these drums too loud? Are they too quiet? Are they... I think we've had it right about the whole time at -7. See, -6 just feels too loud. I feel like, yeah, -7. I think these drums are sitting about right at -7. Okay. Let's pull out that master compressor. The drums could have come up. Yeah, no, I always feel like I learn more about how I have things leveled as soon as I touch the master with the compressor. Try going back to having this filter on the synth lead. It felt like it was kind of sticking out, you know? Yeah, that feels a little better. Okay. -3.5 is where we're at. We're gonna pull out Little Radiator and just hit it with a splash of saturation. Like, that's way too much. Oh, yes. Okay, we're getting places. Oh, this is starting to feel very full. Nice. Pull out an EQ. trying to clamp down on this low mids and try to emphasize this bass note a little bit. Here we go. Let's make sure our max peak is below 0. Okay. Yeah, this is looking good. Alright, let's pull out our maximizer from Ozone. We're probably just gonna, because we did our own EQing here, we're probably gonna turn this EQ off. But we are gonna let it run just to get a rough estimation of where the maximizer should be set to. Yeah. Okay, loudness warning. This might get a little loud. It might jump up in volume. Just letting you guys know. Let's run it. What did it do with this EQ? Yeah, we're gonna turn that off. This guy, though, is really what we came for. Okay, let's bring it back to the beginning and let's get a test the loudness meter. I should probably also do a save as here. We need a little bit of, I can't believe it took me this long to catch this. We needed a little bit of, I was like, where's this clicking coming from? Oh my gosh, yeah, it was just the sample chops. Might even back off some of this little radiator. Okay. Damn, I think we got that one. Wow. All right, yes, and let's save that. And then I've got another one that we're going to try to hit today. Now, real quick, before we dive into this next one, I'm going to go grab a little bit of coffee while I do that. I hope you guys enjoy this track, Orchid Freckles, off of my new EP, Thinking of You. Might even run into the title track if you're interested in hearing that. But yeah, new EP out now. If you are interested in checking out my music, I am TapDaddy on all platforms. This is from my new EP. So anyways, I'll be 2 seconds. I'm just going to heat up some coffee, and then we're going to dive in to our last beat that we're trying to mix today. We've got one more beat, and yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. So anyways, I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy. All right, I am back, and I believe we are ready to dive in to the last beat. So yeah, this was, I believe, the second one that I made last Saturday, which, by the way, shout out to everybody that comes through for the Saturday morning cook-ups. Looking forward to doing another live studio session this Saturday. That's going to be fun. Let's give this a listen through. This should be kind of a jazzy kind of track. Let's hear what we're working with, and then we'll kind of develop our game plan here. Probably got to punch up these drums a bit. Oddly enough, I feel like this piano could come down a little bit. I like this. This is a vibe, man. That's awesome. All right. Let's get our hands dirty. Starting from the beginning. Okay, so I see we've got like a little bit of vinyl on this guy. And this bass line. Okay. And what does this sound like when it drops in? Okay. We're going to compress the piano a little bit. And then we're going to bring it down. Let's pull out an EQ on this upright bass. We're going to give it just a little boost in this low range. And then we might also, let's sweep the top of this to see what we're getting in terms of high-end frequencies. Like, I kind of want to lift a little bit tightly. Okay. So we get some of these lows definitely prioritized here. But I also want to maybe press down a little bit in this mid-range and get a little bit of this neck action up here. Okay. What the hell? Are these literally warped by beats? That's fucking crazy. How did I not catch that when I was producing? All right, well, we're gonna change this to complex. Okay. Let's test that against Complex Pro. Not much difference. Okay. Looking at these drums now. Let's get a little bit of decapitator in here. divot around the harshness. But probably raise the highs. So yeah, this is getting raised, but we are creating a little divot around where it creates harshness. This feels a lot tighter. Speaking of tightness, let's get 1176 in here and see how it feels if we like really squeeze on this before we decapitate. So. Not sure that this 1176 is going to be the ticket for this guy, but maybe the LA2A if we just gently squeeze on this a bit. Okay, yeah, this is starting to feel good. Still needs to be a bit tamed. I think we're gonna lift on this kick a bit. We're gonna clamp down on the low end of that snare, kind of shifting some of the weight more towards the brighter end. Also, just trying things. Let's try the 1176 on just the snare. Oh, yes. I don't know, I feel like now I'm starting to feel like we just have too much on this decapitator here. Okay, this is starting to feel nicely balanced. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. We don't need to mess with that string. But yeah, what's up, Mars? How you doing, man? He says, damn it, Taps, it wasn't me. How's your day going, man? Oh, man. It's coming along. Yeah. Oh, man. I've just been locked in here, like, fucking tweaking, man. Tweaking all the things. Okay, we'll pull out an EQ for this piano. Might kind of shave off some of the lows to kind of make more room for that bass. But yeah, he says, I'm an hour ahead of you. Houston, Texas. Yeah, he says, I'm about to pour a glass of scotch. Ooh, nice. About an hour ahead of you. Very nice, man. Very nice. That sounds awfully lovely. I think after stream, I'm about to go have a beer by the pool. But then after that, I have to get to editing a audiobook. Oh man, I'm like buried in very tedious work this week. Oh man, I'm like editing. It's only like a 70-page audiobook, but oh my god, is it tedious. And I have to record and edit it twice. They want 2 different versions, so you know, scotch sounds nice, man. Scotch sounds very nice. I might need some scotch as I edit this never-ending task. God damn. This track is very smooth. I want to lean into the smooth cleanliness of it, you know? Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. And I feel like this feels pretty counterintuitive to a lot of people, but I like sometimes doing some very, very light compression after I've gotten the delays and the reverbs in, just to kind of help lift things and also gel it together. A little too much compression, though, can get out of hand really quickly when you're doing it after delay and reverb. Got to be kind of sparing, right? So we'll play around with it. We'll pull this out and play with it. But yeah, Mars says, I've been listening to the Children of Huron audiobook narrated by Christopher Lee. Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. How is it? I feel like now I'm hyper aware of, like, I don't know, narrators. I feel like, a narrator can make or break an audiobook, right? I feel like it really depends, right? I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for narrators having, done this audiobook. It's kind of fun. I ended up recording my wife, actually. She's actually the one that brought this opportunity to me. So we're recording a version with her voice, and then we're recording a version with mine. So, if you want to hear me on audiobook, I'm going to have one soon. Yeah, but yeah, Mars says it's really excellent. It's an amazing story. The interactions, the events, all awesome. That's awesome, man. Hell yeah. I feel like I'm about to have a long road trip down to Texas. My sister-in-law is getting married. So yeah, I feel like I need to find some audiobooks, maybe, What's the book? Oh, I don't think I can say yet. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say. I'll let you know if I can circle back and drop it to you guys, because I mean, but it's nonfiction. It's a nonfiction book about finance. Just somebody needed a narrator. Really, they needed a plethora of narrators to choose from, and they needed people that were willing to record and edit a full version. So, but yeah, I'll definitely circle back around if I find out I can show you guys. I think for the time being, it's all under wraps, but. Okay. So, yeah, we were just looking at this EQ. Let's go find where the first resonant of the bass is. And then we'll be able to kind of gauge where it would probably be most advantageous for us to cut some of this piano. Oh, it looks like it's right at about 100-ish. But yeah. Mammy, what's up? Oh no, Mammy says, well, I dropped my pasta all over the floor. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Mammy. Pasta down. Oh man, had to make something else. Fair enough. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Mars says this track has come a long way. Thank you, man. Thank you. I like how this is coming out. Yeah. So I'm thinking we could cut maybe like around here. Really doesn't make much difference, but it sounds so much cleaner with those lows cut, given that we're really clearing space for our bass here. There we go. Mammy says, it's my own fault. Running with house slippers. Oh no. The dangers of house slippers. Gosh, you know, I feel like slippers are something that I feel like I have grown a great appreciation for. I don't know. I feel like when I realize now that I feel like what makes me feel more like an adult nowadays compared to when I was in college is that I look back on how I lived in college, right? And I feel like I lived like a homeless person in my own home. You know, like I had no slippers, I had no robe, I had no I was just walking around with a blanket wrap around me, like fucking trying to not eat off of plates so that I don't have to do dishes, you know, like. And nowadays I feel like I really relish in the simple luxuries of having like a robe and slippers and like not even just like, you know, my favorite mug, but maybe like a nice coaster. It's just like, I don't know, these small things I feel like I'm leaning into as I get older, and I'm really enjoying. I'm a homebody, you know? I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm a homebody. I'm not wearing pants when I'm not on stream. I'm just chilling in my robe, man. You can't make me wear pants now. No, but it really is. It's the small things. It's like, I don't know. Having a nice pair of slippers, I think, is life-changing. You know, it's something that you wear every single day. But anyways, I see Mars was saying, I heard today someone put sweet and sour in their lasagna. What? Oh, no. No, I'm with Mammy. That sounds sacrilegious. Yeah. Mars saying, my mom's ex-husband wore house slippers all the time before he passed. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, life of luxury, man. Yeah, Mara's saying, yeah, he always had a robe and slippers. I wear shorts and t-shirts, a hoodie if I'm cold. That's fair enough. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like someday, because I feel like, you know, my dad was the same way. He would wear a robe and slippers just like around the house all the time, or at least used to. I feel like now that I'm just, you know, living on my own, nice, happy life, living with my wife, and we both work from home, so I get to be comfortable all I want, right? Except for when I'm on stream in front of you guys. I've debated some days where I really don't want to, like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do nothing. I've debated, like, can I go live in my robe? And then I'm like, no, that's weird. You know? That's very weird. But, you know, like, yeah, very 80s. I don't know, man. Simple luxuries, man. I feel like that's what I'm about these days. Simple luxuries. They make me feel like a made man. Now you need to start a war with the paperboy. You're damn right. Get off my damn lawn. No. Oh, no. Gosh, I guess one requires a lawn to be able to be yelling at people about getting off your damn lawn. All right, let's see where we're at with this. Might even back off the compression on the snare a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Mars says, I have a lawn. Oh, well, Status over here, Mr. Status with his lawn. No, I'm kidding. No Paperboy, though. Ah, oh, damn. Who are you gonna harass now? Now, honestly, I'm kind of glad that I don't have a lawn. I am just living easy mode in apartment living. It's kind of nice, actually, because I don't have to take care of shit. Oh, man. Back at my parents' house as a kid, they had like nearly an acre of land. I'd have to go mow that lawn every fucking week. Ugh. I feel like that makes me not want to own a lawn, even though they look nice. I don't know. Yeah, your neighbors? Yeah, you can go yell at your neighbors, man. Okay, we're getting places with this. It's just, yeah, we were gonna. Here we go. We forgot to set up this compressor. We're gonna turn down the feedback now that we've got this compression going. Buttery smooth, nice. Okay. Turn down this synth lead a bit. What if we decide to go super wide with this piano? I'm just curious. I just want to see how it feels. We're probably not going to do this, but, for experiment's sake, let's take this guy. Let's... Ooh, maybe air might be the way, because then we keep it somewhat centered, but it does have a little bit more width to it. It's subtle. Yeah, we're gonna keep that. And we're gonna only have this turn on after we drop in. Same as, yeah, our vinyl, so. There we go. Sounds great. Thank you, man. Sorry, I'm like locked in on this one. Might even hike this up a bit more. This can just come up a bit. Not gonna need to do much mixing on that bell. Oh, you know what? I was gonna leave this dry, but I do think we're gonna hit them with like a little bit of compression and kind of let them float around here. There we go. There we go, yeah. But yeah, Mars says, by the way, I did start going through my old files. I have some great stuff that needs some attention. Dude, that's awesome. That's really good. I feel like, honestly, half the battle is, I think, kind of having your backlog accessible to you in a certain way. I don't know, man. I'm somebody that I feel like I fight tooth and nail to not like do tedious stuff like keep systems, keep records, keep all this stuff. But quite honestly, I feel like my ability to put out good music has greatly gotten better ever since I started doing two things. I started bouncing a demo of every beat that I complete as soon as I complete it. So I have a demo folder to always be looking stuff up in. But then secondly, I also have a spreadsheet of every single beat, no matter whether it's released or it's in demo phase, with a bunch of information about like, is it finished, first of all? Is it mixed? Does it have artwork? Does it have a name? Does it have like notes about the metadata for it? Is it going on Spotify? Is it going on BeatStars? Am I considering it for this, that, or the other thing? And I like even color code it. And point is, man, like I feel like this makes a lot of sense for me and makes it easier for me to really fully utilize my backlog by having an accessible way to just glance through my catalog and go, what was I considering for Spotify? Oh, yeah, this track. Oh, yeah, here's in the notes I see I was considering for this type of EP. Maybe I go dig out some other tracks for that. I don't know. Point is, half the battle is just keeping organized and keeping things accessible. And I think also, listening through your demos as well so that you know what to prioritize and what you do have on your plate, but... Anyways, that's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming, dude. I'm like, sorry, I get off on these rants, man. I'm like, oh. Let's pull out an EQ on this guy. I'm going to just brighten this a little bit up here, and we'll turn it down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Mammy. Yeah, I'm like, I'm locking in here, and I'm starting to really like analyze and kind of nitpick a little bit, but I'm kind of at a point where I am feeling ready to like maybe start. You see, here's the thing: is now I'm gonna throw a compressor on the master, and I'm gonna totally question how I have things leveled, right? But that's part of the process. It's all good. Yeah, Mars saying I need to continue working on them. I have some ideas. It's funny because at the time I had been kind of lost with them. I feel you, man. I feel you. Sometimes I come across beats that I made like 2 years ago, and I'm like, why the hell did I not do anything with this? It's great. Like what, But yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like, man. Sometimes I see. Because, I know a lot of artists through streaming and, having a feedback stream on Twitch and through working with artists and all that. And I feel like one thing that a lot of artists that I see that are really bad about dropping, like they never drop music. is I feel like it's just lack of organization on the back end, and therefore kind of like lack of direction, or maybe they like kind of have an idea for a project, but they don't have like a date in mind for when it should drop. Like, I don't know. I guess the biggest piece of advice I'd give to any artist that's like really serious and wants to like buckle down is get your release schedule in order. How often do you release? If you decide like I release once a month, then okay, what's your next 3 months look like? And then you can start planning ahead in these crazy ways where you go, okay, like for me, for example, it's like, all right, well, people really like a lot of the jazzy kind of beats, and they kind of like two sides of it. They like maybe like some of the more chill hop stuff that I do. They may like some of the more darker noir kind of stuff that I do. And I'm like, all right, well, the noir stuff is like a hit. Like the people like that, and I know it, right? So I've got a good one there. I'll do that. But then, maybe after that, I've got like one that I kind of want to take a chance on. So I'm going to drop something that's a little bit more G-funk because I like it. And, we'll take a chance there, see if people like it. Okay, they like that. Okay, now we might, because we got a little bit off the rails with that, maybe we bring it back around. Let's give them a chill hop track or something like that. And it's like, I don't know, you can really think about things and really analyze like what's working. Where do I have slack to try things? Where do I have, like the more organized you can be, the more scheduled out you can be. And the more scheduled out you are, the more consistent you're going to be, and the more like actual progress you're going to start making towards your goals, right? But I don't know, man. I also just feel like I've been like I sometimes get on people's cases like for not, and I have to remind myself like, oh, I'm a fucking sweaty tryhard when it comes to music. I, really am going at this with ambition, whereas I feel like I have to remind myself that for a lot of people, they are doing this for fun. Shocker. That's crazy. And that, I can't expect everybody to like have this immaculate pipeline and all these things. I'm like, guys, it makes so much sense if you do it this way, but I got to remind myself I'm a sweaty tryhard. So, yeah, Mammy says that sounds like a really orderly way to plan. You see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I want to scream it from the rooftops. I want to pass this along to every artist I meet. Like the pipeline is everything. The pipeline is like how you move. But yeah, Mars saying, yeah, I've been doing chill hop, electronica, and some emotional techno / house tracks. Ooh, that sounds like quite a spread, man. That's awesome. Yeah, he says all of them are groovy. I save money by date for that very reason. I save mine by date for that very reason. Gotcha. Oh, that's good. Date is another great way to keep track of things. For me, I have just a song number kind of system, and this is kind of like how I identify and in what order I made things, So I don't know by date, but I know relatively to each beat, like how much, But yeah, he says, I want to finish 12 tracks, then sell them as a whole album and 3 4-track albums. Interesting. So like when you say sell them, are you talking about like selling the beats to artists, or are you talking about like, I don't know, selling them to a label that might be doing sync stuff for you? Because I feel like there's, some really good strategies depending on which way you want to do things. If you are trying to go more like the BeatStars route and you're trying to like sell to artists, what I would recommend is that you treat it like singles and you drop every single like at a rate that makes sense for you. So maybe you tell people for me, I drop 3 beats per week. This week it's going to be 2 because I'm working on this audio book. But, you tell people like I drop this often, and then you start dropping from your backlog, these beats. But then elsewhere, you start telling people about this album that's dropping on this date and check out this single, and like whatever. But point is, like, spread out over the time, it can move a lot more momentum than just dropping at once and then in one fell swoop trying to tell people about your album, right? Just things to kind of think about. But yeah, he says, yeah, I work a loop till it's flawless, then I build on them. I want to do my own label for protection purposes. That's awesome, man. And I technically have my own label, technically, in that like all of my music is released under TapDaddy Records, but like legally I'm not, classified as a label. But I guess what I would say in terms of that is like, you can completely DIY your entire music career. You don't even need independent labels to jump in and do it. And in fact, it's twice as hard because you got to fund yourself basically. But the payoff is that you earn 100% of what you put out, which is incredible. Like, I don't know, even at my size, it's like, ooh, this is decent considering that I have 100% of the masters, And now I'm able to kind of reach out and branch out and collaborate with people. And, like this track, LFG, is a label release. But that's, off my homie's album that's coming out in December. That's DJ Grumble. And it's like, okay, so I can spend like 1 week, one release doing something over here. But everything else, it's just 100% masters my way that I fully own, right? And it's like, I don't know, I think there's a lot of power in that. But yeah, he says, I can sell the 4-track albums on Beatport and sell the 12-track to regular people. Ooh, interesting. I can't say I've heard of Beatport. Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, he says, yeah, when the whole Spotify thing happened, I was very skeptical. Now we're finding out all this stuff is happening. In relation to what I know, that there's a lot of criticism of Spotify, so you might need to specify for me. Also, let's back this up. Let's just hear it. See where we're at. I'm just starting to yap at you guys, but that's okay. I like yapping at you guys. Ooh, yeah. This sounds good. Start pulling out the Shadow Hill. Jesus, there's dump trucks outside. Ooh, this is sounding good. But yeah, Mars says, yeah, when the whole Spotify thing happened, I was very skeptical. Now we're finding out all this stuff. He says, it's a long story. Fair enough. He says, watch Venus Theory video about it. He goes way in depth. Oh, gotcha. So you're referencing the Venus Theory video, which I can't remember if I've watched it yet. I might have to look into it because I'm sure he has a very well-researched take. He always does. Dude, these drums sound great now that we've got the Shadow Hills master compressor here. Okay. We're gonna put a little bit of Little Radiator on here. Ooh, that kind of excites things a little bit. This is starting to sound really vibrant.
But yeah, Mars says briefly, so people making AI music will use a couple of yours. Then when they get caught, you get penalized as well and can no longer sell your music anywhere. Yeah, and that's in the industry what we call some real fuck shit. No, okay. No, but for real, like it's absolutely bullshit. One thing that made me happy that happened recently is Spotify took down 75 million songs that were AI generated, just taking up room on their servers. They're starting to take a stance against generated tracks. And also, as long as you can prove that you made said piece of music before they generated it, then you're in the clear. What's really concerning, though, is that if they generated something and then you happen to make something that sounds kind of like their generated piece, and then they're like, oh, all these things, then that's, say it with me, some real fuck shit. I don't know, man. Point is, there's a battle going on in the music industry right now between artists and the labels and, Suno and Udio and all that. And there's actually several lawsuits going on right now. Somebody that I recommend paying attention to if you are interested in this issue and you want to stay up to date with the lawsuits is Top Music Attorney on YouTube. She is a music attorney that is leading the charge on a class action lawsuit against Suno and Udio, which is pretty fucking sick, man. Like, things are going down right now. But yeah, he says, no, it doesn't matter. It's because you're on the playlist in general. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, I'm going to give you the realest advice, okay? Yeah, Mammy. Yeah, she's like, oh, I love her. I do, too. Oh, my God, Top Music Attorney all day, every day. She's awesome. So here's some real advice that is practical advice and maybe not the best solution, okay? So here's the issue. When you land on a botted playlist, and they just add you, right? And they're trying to extort you. They're trying to get you to pay for more streams. They're betting on the fact that you're dumb and that you're like, ooh, I got a big break. I'm on this playlist. And that you're going to go to their website and buy more streams from them. That's how that scam works, right? Of course, you do not want to end up on botted anything because, the real penalty to having fake traffic on your Spotify is that Spotify is less accurate at recommending your music when fake data infiltrates into your listenership, right? So you definitely want to stay away from any sort of artificial data. You want your data that you are feeding to Spotify to be as real and genuine as possible so that Spotify better understands how to recommend your music, because the more accurately that they can recommend your music to certain listeners, the more success that you're going to have in the algorithms. So you with me so far? So here's the takeaway, okay? This is the hard truth that is practical advice and maybe not, everybody's best advice, but there is safety in numbers, okay? The more listeners that you have on your music, the less you need to give a fuck about landing on one of those playlists, because the less that it's going to actually affect that data that is going to Spotify, the less that it is actually going to harm your algorithmic standing. And also, the less likely that a distributor or a platform is going to see that as a significant part of your listenership and take action against you, right? So the practical advice here is if you are worried about these botted playlists and being added to it and getting artificial streams, the way that you can protect yourself from that is by gaining a larger audience, okay? like I said, not everybody's going to like that advice, but I'm just trying to give you guys like the most practical advice that I think is just true. If you can get more audience, you will be better insulated from that bullshit, right? Because it's total fucking bullshit. It's absolutely insane. It is the Wild West. And also, thing is that Spotify does not care about small artists. They have come out and said it. They, the whole issue with them trying to only monetize stuff that is, that gets over 1,000 streams. You know why they don't give two shits about small artists? I think that they are intentionally trying to get small artists off their platforms. And the reason is that it is costing them money to host millions and millions of songs that never get streamed. It costs them server space. So quite honestly, yeah, Spotify is trying to make it uncomfortable and not welcoming to smaller artists. They are instead very invested in artists that are even like small, decent sized, right? Like, I would say if you have like more than 10,000 monthlies, and this is just total, pulling this estimate out of my ass, then yeah, Spotify kind of treats you a little bit differently. They're suddenly invested in you staying on their platform. I guess, look, the takeaway here though is it gets better as your audience gets bigger. So if it feels like this never ending, like daunting, like mountain of just corrupt nonsense, right? Just know that the view is a little bit clearer at the peak, right? And that's something to kind of look forward to. But, that's my honest advice on all of this, Spotify and the whole situation and where we are at with all of these, fucking people and their fake playlists and all of that. That's the practical advice that I'd give to anybody is like, it gets safety in numbers, right? Safety in having a bigger audience. So things to think about. Anyways, I'm just yapping. Oh my God. You guys got me talking today. I'm like, let's see where we're at here. Woo. All right. I'm going to turn this up by about 5 decibels. Dope. Okay, we're going to jump up by 5 decibels. Ready? There we go. We're going to pull out our loudness meter. Start getting a rough estimate of where our LUFS is at. Okay, we got a little ways to go. We're going to aim for -11 about. Okay, but yeah, Mars says, yeah, my example is making MUX ready tracks for Beatport and a user experience of album style 12-track album for people to chill to in their car. So what is Beatport? I think that's the bit of information that I'm missing here. Is Beatport where you are licensing your beat to like artists, or is it kind of like a place like Bandcamp where it's like a place where listeners can come and discover music and purchase it? Yeah, he says that way you get the regular listeners and the DJs. Ooh, that's cool. So essentially you're getting it out to DJs using Beatport. You'll have to fill me in, man, because I'm super curious about what your plan is. Okay, we're going to pull out Ozone Elements. Here we go. We're going to run this over here. Little loudness warning. This might get a little loud. Yeah, he says Beatport is an EP. Is an app for DJs to buy tracks. Oh, that's so cool, man. I'm not in that realm. I really want to be sending beats out to like DJs. I just don't know. Like I'm like locked in with like one DJ maybe. I see a lot of potential there, you know. I would say, Mars, are you registered with a PRO? Because that's where you're going to really be making all your money if you are getting, you know, spins from DJs. Like, yeah, performance royalties actually can stack up pretty large, you know? So, yeah. He's like, I can't believe you haven't heard of it. No, I haven't, man, because that's outside of my realm. I'm mostly focused right now on Spotify, just streams, you know, just listenership, just trying to grow that. Dip my toes a little bit into Bandcamp, you know, direct to consumer a little bit. BeatStars is a big one for me. I'm also really focused on licensing my beats to rappers, you know, definitely trying to get in with rappers. And I'm also a mix engineer on the side, so I'm like working with rappers one-on-one. Between all this, I really haven't looked into like how I'm gonna get my beats to DJs, you know. That just like hasn't been on my plate. Yeah, he says you should, bro. They have hip-hop. I would hope they have hip-hop. I might look into that, man. I might have to look into that. Yeah, it sounds like it's something that I should be aware of. All right, anyways, this is gonna get a little bit loud. Just warning you guys. All right, let's run this. I appreciate you, Mars. Oh. Oh, that's wild. What did this do? Okay, this looks crazy, but I like what it's doing here. And what's really helping this is they actually did punch down on this hi-hat. Okay. Dude, that's working nicely. Okay, let's run it back. Let's check this out. What's up, Charlie Burr? What's up, dude? I'm glad you made it, man. How's your day going, dude? Let's see where we're at with this. See where our lufs is. We're aiming for -11. But yeah, I actually, Mars, we actually just heard some music from Charlie Burr on Twitch the other day. Man, you had some good music, dude. Glad you swung through. We're, measuring our lufs for this track. Hoping for -11. I will take as high as -9. We'll see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, dude, this one came together nice. It's so crazy though. I'm gonna be curious to hear somebody rhyme this. I'm a little mostly worried about the trumpet kind of getting in their way, but they can buy stems. Fuck, no, I'm kidding. We'll see. Dude, -10.9. Oh my god, we're like really on point. I'm kind of shocked that this master chain worked out so nicely. given that we have this weird bend here, this is actually doing great stuff. So we're getting some of this lifted, which is kind of giving this brighter edge to this track. Now, one thing that I think like really helped this work, though, one issue that I run into whenever Ozone decides to do some nonsense like this, is that, you know, you guys can see here on my drums, right? I cut the highs right here, right? And I just like the feel of that muted sound on these drums. It kind of makes it more like tape processed, right? But the problem with this is that when you do a sharp cut like this, it emphasizes, like when you do any cut like this guy right here, it emphasizes what is on the left and the right of this. So when you do a hard cut like this, it emphasizes what is on the left, which is at the top of our EQ for the drums. You know, it's getting all that hi-hats and stuff. So usually in the master chain, when it does something like boost this, it kind of boosts uncomfortably the already, like, you know, boosted hi-hats, that high end, that harshness. But that's why I feel like this little dip right here is pretty genius. Like that helps us gather what's on the other side of that without necessarily bringing this forward, right? So that feels good. That feels good. But yeah, Mars says, Taps, maybe when I finish a few of mine, I could do remixes of yours. Would you be down? I mean, shit, I'm always happy to send stems, man. If you want to do some remixes, absolutely. I'd be curious to hear what you would make, man. So yeah, I mean, definitely reach out, dude. But yeah, he says, the Pan Man does help. Yeah, I love, Pan Man and Waves Panner. Ooh, nice. Yeah. So shit, I think we stuck the landing minus 11.0 on the dot. Like, holy shit. That's a good one. This one's going to be dropping on BeatStars soon. So anyways, we should, oh my God, did I not do a save as here? I've done this whole thing with, I'm being a bad mix engineer right now. We're going to do mix V1. Boom. Oh, awesome. All right. So, guys, we mixed down 2 beats today in 2.5 hours. That's not bad. You know, and I want to kind of reiterate, like I said at the beginning of this stream, these mix sessions are pretty light mix sessions. You know, I am just trying to get stuff prepared for BeatStars, which, you know, is really just to say, like, to clean them up until they are appropriate enough that I wouldn't be embarrassed to give them to a rapper, a fellow mix engineer, you know, getting them sounding spiffy. You know, usually when I'm doing stuff for Spotify, I usually like to do these like maybe 5 to 7 hour long sessions that are kind of split up over the course of 2 or 3 days. And you know, maybe sometime, because I've been thinking about this, I've only been doing like quick mixes in front of you. I might want to do like a Spotify mix in front of you guys sometime, just to show you like the real deliberate process, right? So let me know if you guys would be interested in watching me do a Spotify one. I feel like I'm accruing enough mix tracks that maybe I could afford to do one of these like live on stream. I don't know, man. I'm just spitballing ideas with you guys, okay? So, but yeah. Mars says I will, brother. Let me finish mine first. Let's go to the top together. Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, shit, guys. I think I'm off to go have a beer by the pool. It's gonna be nice, and then I'm gonna stay up all night working on an audio novel. It's gonna suck balls, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm gonna be live on Saturday. We're doing a live studio session Saturday morning, 10 a.m. MST is when that's gonna begin. If you are trying to mark it down on your calendars, yeah. Live, you know, Saturday morning cook up, as you guys know. It's going to be awesome. All right. Well, anyways, thank you guys for hanging out. Mars, he says, I love you, man. I love you too, dude. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And, man, let's do this again on Saturday, okay? Let's make some sick music on Saturday. So, anyways, I will see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. My name is TapDaddy, and until next time, happy producing. He's like, yes, I'm drunk. I was wondering if that scotch was kicking in, man. All right. Right on, dude. Have an awesome rest of your day, man. Thanks for chilling. It's always good hanging out, dude. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.